Hi there. Thank you for joining.
Yes.
Sorry, 1 second. Okay. So while people join us today, we will get started. Before we started, I just want to tell our audience here right now that if you guys have any questions or comments, please leave it in the chat below. We, of course, try to answer them. So, thank you for joining us once again. This is a really honor to talk to you today. So, before we get started and talk more, would you like us to introduce yourself and your organization?
Yeah, sure, of course, go ahead.
So, what is your organization about? Like, what do you want to tell to the audience about your organization?
So, hi everyone, my name is Anya Patel. I have a nonprofit called Global Girls Initiative, and it focuses on providing menstrual hygiene and regular hygiene education and product access to girls and menstruators within underserved communities.
That's actually a great cause. I personally don't see as many people, stepping up to personal hygiene and helping others. So it was good to see this, that there is someone out there trying to help everyone actually. May we ask, why did you start? Is there any personal reason or anything?
Yeah, so I'm a high school student right now. So, as part of my school, they require you to get a certain amount of service hours. So, when I was looking for some service hours, I actually came across this organization online that needed help planning and running this online global virtual forum. And when I was helping them, they also allowed me to interview some people. So I was able to interview a menstrual hygiene activist from India, and she was the first person to actually introduce to me what period poverty was. And she told me how only 36% of girls within India have access to menstrual hygiene products. And this really shocked me because I knew third world countries as having a lack of access to food and water and shelter, but I never thought of lack of access to menstrual hygiene products as a problem. And I was kind of curious from that point to see what the statistics were in the United States. I did not think this would be a big problem at all. It was very minuscule, maybe like 1 in 100 suffer from this or even less. But I was completely shocked to find out that within the US, such a developed and first world country, 1 in 5 girls within the US miss school due to a lack of access to menstrual hygiene products. So I just really felt inspired to just make a small change within my community. So it started off with me just wanting to donate about like 5,000 menstrual hygiene products to just my own school and a local domestic violence shelter. But with such amazing support from my Tampa Bay community and all my friends and family, I was able to grow it, and I was able to eventually donate 50,000 menstrual hygiene products to all the Title I middle and high schools within my county. And from there, it just grew into a nonprofit.
That's actually amazing. To be honest, I didn't know either that this was a problem. I always thought like, there, it's not like the third world countries how you mentioned. Yeah, there might be issue, but like America, I actually never thought about that. That's actually really shocking to hear this. But at least there's someone trying to help. Um, while going through all this, did you face any struggles or anything like getting your voice heard? Because I personally know when you're trying to do something good, there are people in the way who don't care or who don't try to step up. So did you face any struggles going through this?
Yeah, of course. I feel like everyone does come to some obstacles or some bumps in the road when they're trying to pursue something like this. I was actually really happy with how much support that I was able to get throughout my community. But there were obviously some people that thought I was too young to do anything too serious, too big. And especially considering I'm doing something with period poverty and menstrual hygiene, which is such a stigmatized subject that a lot of people just kind of like looked the other way and didn't want to talk to me about that subject.
I totally agree on that. Like, this is a topic where some people just don't feel comfortable or just don't want to talk about. But like, I don't see the reason why. But it's people's thoughts, I guess you can say. Um, so following with that, as this your whole thing, is there any goal, like this main goal that you want to achieve? Like, you know, you have set a vision towards to about hygiene products and all this.
So my main goal is to just provide hygiene education and products to girls in underserved communities so that they don't miss out on school and their confidence doesn't go down. So one of the big things of why I started creating hygiene education was because girls' confidence when they're going through their puberty and their teenage years just plummets because they have no idea what's going on with their body. They have no idea just how to go along with it. One really big uh, goal I want to achieve right now is putting pad dispensers in bathrooms because, of course, I'd love to be able to provide menstrual hygiene and hygiene products for girls, but this would be such a more sustainable option if girls had pad dispensers in bathrooms. So, right now, I am talking to some of the board members from the Hillsborough County School Board, and we're trying to put pad dispensers within bathrooms so that all girls have access to menstrual hygiene products whenever they need them.
That's actually amazing. That's really good. Like, it's amazing. Oh, we got two questions. One is, what grade are you in?
So I just started 11th grade 2 days ago, and yes,
Oh,
I am 15.
oh, I'm starting grade 11 in September.
Oh, cool.
Another question. Why do you think this subject is stigmatized?
I'm honestly not too sure why it actually started becoming stigmatized. This happened such a long time ago. But right now, I do know that it's a lot of cultures, especially my culture. I'm Indian, and my mom and my grandma grew up in societies where they weren't allowed to go to the temple, they weren't allowed to go to the kitchen because having a period was considered like dirty, unholy. It just wasn't good to have one. I'm not sure why that's a thing because it is such a natural bodily process. It represents fertility, it represents just all these amazing things that women are able to do. So I'm not too sure why it became stigmatized in the first place, but I really hope we can take down that taboo.
Yeah, same here because I also grew up where my mom not, but like my grandma and all my family, they always thought this was unholy. I relate to that. I always never understood why, and I think I never will. But I don't think so. It's unholy. Like this is what the body does. This is what the female body does. So I think it's a gift, and we should all appreciate it and not think of it as a bad thing. And I guess people are just like that. They have to change their thinking, I guess. How are you able to talk to like people from the board?
So this actually, because I have made a lot of connections through my non. So initially, I just reached out to someone in my county area, helped me distribute these 50,000 menstrual hygiene products. And she was just such an amazing mentor, and she connected me with everyone within the board. And she gave me this opportunity to speak at this one of the school board meetings where I was able to talk about adding menstrual hygiene dispensers in schools. But this was last year, and their budget, because of COVID, was super low, and they had to lay off teachers, and they just didn't have it within their budget to do it. So this year, I'm trying to put them in.
And that's amazing. These questions are really great. We got another question. What advice would you have for young girls struggling during this time?
Um, Struggling with menstrual hygiene products, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, During this time, I would say there are a lot of people out there that, although it is such a stigmatized topic, there are so many people out there that are willing to help. Go to those people and don't be afraid. Like, hey, I am missing out on this. You wouldn't be afraid to go talk to someone if you were missing out on food or water. But this is, if you are struggling with this, go reach out to some people, reach out to me, and just ask for these products. And just know that, even these products are essential, but you can do this. You can break that taboo. You can reach out to people for help.
Yeah, that's amazingly said. Oh, we got more questions. I actually really enjoy these questions because these are really well thought out questions. So, one person said, "How did you receive the 50,000 pads? Was it from donation?"
So this happened last October in 2020. So because COVID was really big around that time, I didn't get a lot of physical donations. Some organizations donated physical ones to me, but as I was able to buy a lot of them through money that I raised on my GoFundMe.
That's great. That's such nice. It's actually also nice seeing how people are just ready to donate like this because there's some who have issues with even talking about period and hygiene stuff, and then there are some who are just ready right off the bat to help. So I actually really appreciate seeing these many people ready to help. We got a few more questions. How do you think school education should change to bring more positive mindsets about menstruation?
So I think that schools should include a hygiene or a menstrual hygiene class or course, or just integrate it some way into their curriculum. I remember that we had like a little bit of a sex ed talk, and they like briefly mentioned periods for like 5 seconds in there, and it wasn't very informative. Like just like, you have a period, and like that's it. So I really think that it should include for girls like why you get a period, just like how to deal with the symptoms of a period, knowing that your period should be regular, what's irregular, when you should be able to see a doctor, and just just educating girls on that topic so that they don't lose confidence.
Yeah, I agree to that because in my school in my whole high school, like the grade 9 team, we didn't talk about this. We only talked about this in grade 5 or 4. It's just like one period about this, and we only talked about who you should talk to, like your parents or trusted adult, when you get this. That's all. I got no knowledge from my school, so I think I agree that they should, like, you know, maybe like not a course, but add more to this.
Yeah.
So after that, one question. What are some goals you have for your organization in the future, and how do you plan to achieve them? And yeah.
So I kind of mentioned this earlier when you had asked. So I'm planning on putting pad dispensers in bathrooms so that girls can have access to period products when in school.
Yeah, I just mentioned that before. That's true. Some of these questions already have been mentioned. What age did you start all of this?
I was 15. Or 14 actually.
Oh, 14. That's amazing. How were you able to start your own organization? Did you have any help over the way? Yeah, as you mentioned before, you got, you got help, and how you started it. You met with one of the, if I'm not wrong, she was from India.
It started out when I interviewed this grassroots menstrual hygiene activist from India.
Okay, that's great. So how do you think we can help reduce stereotypes and stigmatization in our everyday lives?
So honestly, I think this is just gonna have to start small, obviously, and just openly talk about periods. It's not some dirty thing that you should just hide or whisper about and just deal with, but you should talk about it. Have open conversations to help remove that stigma and that taboo. And just have others, just by talking about your period, others might be like, hey, like, he's okay with talking about periods. It's okay to talk about them. They're normal. They're natural. We can all speak freely about them.
Yeah, I agree too. Like, it should be like a normal conversation. It shouldn't be something that someone should feel embarrassed. Like, should I talk? Should I not? Shouldn't be like that. What is your thought on period side effects versus symptoms? I don't think there's side effects.
I'm not too sure what
Yeah
that means.
Yeah, I don't think I'm not sure about your question either, because as far as I'm sure, I don't think so periods have side effects. That unless there's like pain, cramps, they do come and go. So it's part of the process. Um. Okay, I'm not sure what your question is. You interviewed her through I think she's asking you about how you interviewed the person through an organization. Was she from an organization?
So her name was Tanisha Pandit, and she's from the Ritva Foundation. So they provide sustainable menstrual hygiene products to girls within India.
Oh, that's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah, there are many other people like her. I actually don't know the name right off the bat, but it's good to see people in like third world countries or in India or in other places that there are people stepping up now, even though this issue, if I'm not wrong, has been coming on for a really long time.
Yeah.
Is there any motivation or anything you like to say to today's people, either if they're female or male, like boys as well? Is there anything you want to say about this to them?
Honestly, I think that just being a younger person who started a nonprofit, that I've made a difference in a lot of girls' lives, and I've given out so many different menstrual hygiene. I think that you should not be afraid to do something that you're super passionate about if you have a cause that you really want to help make a difference within your community. Honestly, don't be intimidated by, oh my god, if I'm going to do something, I have to make sure it's huge. Start small. Do about if you have a cause that you really want to help make a difference within your community. Honestly, don't be intimidated by, oh my god, if I'm going to do something, I have to make sure it's huge. Start small. Do something really small. Maybe collect a few donations at school for food and donate it to a food pantry. Anything that you're passionate about, just always remember to give back to your community.
And that's a very nice message. Always give back to your community. I love that. Um, Another question: have you faced any resistance while communicating with your school board to provide period products?
I actually did not. A lot of them super open, welcoming. A lot of them were women. A few of them had known people or they themselves had struggled with this, and they really knew what an issue it was, and they were jumped right on board, and they really wanted to help you.
See, like I like how people are just ready to jump on board. As a person that I'm in Canada and my school board, we try to bring this whole our organization as well to the board. See how you're quickly responded. I sent an email. I even called them and I have gotten no message. So I like how there are people just ready off the bat to help you. It's amazing.
Yeah, I'm really lucky that I got this support. What I would consider doing is I had to message so many people just to get that one contact reply to me, and now she's opened up so many different doors for me. But just email different people that are different. Just like whatever you're doing, just email the different people because there's so many different committees and like head people. Just email as many people as you can to spread your message.
Okay, thank you for that. I'm gonna start from there. What if we want to start our own things like this? Where do we start? So like I'm pretty sure this person's asking you start your own organization. Where would be the best way to start?
Again, starting small. Mine, I did not expect it to grow into a nonprofit at all. My goal, I was reaching really high when I said 5,000 pads. I was like, I'm just going to start this GoFundMe. I'm going to text it to everyone I know, all my friends and family, see if they can pitch in just $5, $10. And I'm just going to use that money. I'm going to buy some menstrual hygiene products, and I'm going to quickly call up my school and this domestic violence shelter. And everyone around here is willing to accept because everyone's in need of them. So it always just starts small.
So we start small. Yeah, that's actually good. We got two more questions. What would you advise? Okay, I'm sorry, I can't read this. So, what would you advise should girls will be impacted because of periods, such as not being able to study for a test or pay attention to class because of periods? I think this person's saying people who don't get pads or like their hygiene products. What would you advise those girls that are in class and can't pay attention? Like, what should they do? I think that's what your question is. I'm very sorry if I'm wrong. Please just correct me in the comments. But I think this is the person's asking that.
I believe I mentioned that a little bit before. Just don't be afraid if you are struggling with this. Don't be afraid to reach out to people because there are always people that will be there to help and donate to you some menstrual hygiene products.
Yeah, these all questions are great, and I love all of your answers. Getting this, I think this is also a way to inspire others and to just don't be afraid and just talk about this, speak up if you got issues about this. And yeah, if there are any other comments, please post it down. I wanted to ask you that if um, if like you're in an area, if I'm not wrong, where it's access to all of hygiene products, right? Like you have access to them, and they're well aware. What can we youth do to help? Is there any other way other than donating them, like to third world countries? Because I have also heard that there are some girls, like the government is not ready to implant these hygiene products. I heard some news about them. Is there any way to like get this voice through the news to the government and let them know that there are people in need of these hygiene products?
Yeah, so actually in Florida right there is a bill being passed that's been in and out of legislature for about the past year, and it's about putting pads inside dispensers. So what I've been doing is I've been reaching out to my local representative, and they always just want to hear from their constituents and the people that they are serving. They just want to know what they need to do to make sure that they are helping serve their community and bettering their district.
Yeah, that's actually great news that your community is ready to do this. I hope and I wish the countries that are not ready to talk about this are not ready to put hygiene products out there. I hope soon they do because we all need these products, hygiene products especially. Another question we got: what's normal expected during your period, and when would you go to the doctor? So I think this person is trying to get some knowledge about these periods. So
Yeah, so normal is you should have I can't remember the measure right now, but you should obviously have blood. It should last for between 3 to 7 days is normal, and it should come around it should come around once every 28 to 36 days, so about once a month. If it does come super irregularly, like you'll get it 1 month and then 6 months later get it again, that's an irregular period, and you should go see a doctor about that. And you should get some menstrual cramps, and it will hurt. But if it's super duper unbearable and you just cannot stand it, even after taking some Motrin, go see a doctor about that.
yeah, basically summed it up. I think the person's question we got, I think you already answered this. How do you think we as privileged individuals can help others who don't have access to these products? I think donation is the number one answer to this. Is there any other way, or just donations?
Donating to your own community and just donating to any area, or just like any homeless shelter, any non-organizations that could possibly be serving a target audience as periods. I actually have a GoFundMe. If you guys would love to donate to me, I would absolutely appreciate that. That would be phenomenal because I use all of those proceeds to buy menstrual hygiene products and get them out to all girls in the Bay Area. Would I actually be able to type it in the chat, or how would I do?
You can type it in the chat, or we will save that and we will post it on our stories and our social media so others can see it. So if you like, you can post in the chat.
I will also tell you guys what it is. It is GoFundMe, and it is PADS, PADES, in all caps, and then ending period poverty.
Ending period poverty. Okay. So, okay. Yeah. So then we'll just post it to all the people who have missed some. We got emails that there are some people who missed the live. So we'll just post this whole live on our social site so others can know about it. And yes, guys, if you want to do something good for a great cause, go check out this GoFundMe page of hers. And yeah, I'm gonna check into it, and I'm obviously gonna donate. It's a really great cause, so we appreciate that. Thank you. Well, I'm running out of questions because everyone here asked all the questions that I wanted to ask. Is there any final comments, thoughts, message you want out there? Like everyone should know, everyone should talk about? Anything final?
I'm sorry, are you talking to me?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay. Just please reach out to me if you need any menstrual hygiene products, if you're interested in starting something up and you just need some guidance on how to do it. And just remember to always help your community make a change. And yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah. Oh, thank you guys for doing what you do. Yeah, thank you as well for what you do. Of course, how this person said, and thank you for joining us. We got a question. In the future, do you want to keep working as an advocate, or do you have another career in mind?
So I would love to go into medical school and become some sort of doctor. I, of course, would still, even though I won't be an advocate as a job or a career, I will obviously still do it on the side because this is something I'm super passionate about.
That's amazing. Doctor line. Yeah, that's amazing. I actually don't know anyone nor my friends who want to go on the doctor line, but being a doctor is really dedicated and hardworking. So it's nice to know someone who would like to go in medical field. Oh, we got a long question. Do you think continuing as an advocate and work towards trying these products will bring attention of the government for the need to lower the prices of essential hygiene products? Before you answer those questions, I want to say something. Me being in Canada, hygiene products are really expensive. Like, I don't know about any other country, but they are. So is there anything you want to say about lowering the prices of hygiene products?
Yeah, so I think that if everyone is able to reach out to their representatives and just tell them what they're thinking, that's how the legislature will understand how big of an issue this is. Obviously, advocating for it and having big movements and campaigns within your city will obviously draw attention to them. I think that lowering the price of these products is definitely a huge thing that needs to be done because these are like basic necessities too. You shouldn't be charged tax on them. They should be a lot cheaper. I believe a lot of states in the United States have dropped the tampon tax, but there are still quite a few that need to be able to drop it.
Yeah, I agree. Like in Canada, they have to like drop it like $30 for a small one, and the big ones are cost 40.
$30?
Yeah, for those small ones, and those big ones are like 40, 45. It is expensive.
Oh my god.
It's very expensive. Anyways, are you guys from Canada? I'm from Canada. um, what impact do you think the pandemic has had on the girls struggling with period poverty?
So, period poverty was very prevalent even before this pandemic, but it just made it so much worse when the pandemic came because when the pandemic came, unemployment rates increased so much, and people were they didn't have enough income and they were choosing between food and shelter or period products, and obviously all of them have to use food and shelter to survive. So, a lot of people didn't have enough money to afford these products. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, I actually like this person that asks, do you think that every country should provide period products for free, such as what Sweden did?
I, of course, think that in a perfect world, period products should be free. I do know that, of course, the economy would just mess up if that happened, and it would take a lot of work for the government to change. But yeah, I would totally, maybe more possible solution might be to lower the period product costs. But yeah, in a perfect world, I would love for period products to be free for everyone.
Same here. I really hope one day, but I don't think so. But like being cheaper should be better. Um, I'm from Canada. I've never seen $40 pad. They are quite expensive though. Yeah, actually, I never seen $40 before, but recently maybe it's a mistake, but I don't think so. Those, well, you can see the well-known brands. They were these small ones. I think they were had 30 to 40 pads in them. They were $40, so it might be a mistake. I hope it's a mistake, but I don't think so. It said $40, so yeah, it's quite expensive.
That is crazy, absolutely crazy.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It quite is. So I hope they lower the prices down one day. But that's all from me. And thank you so much for joining and sharing this informative message because I think this is one of the cause that should get attention, should be spread everywhere. So thank you so much for joining us and thank you so much for answering all of these questions. Thank you.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for having me today. I love being able to spread what I do and just spreading what period poverty is and just how to remove that stigma. So thank you so much for having me.
No problem. So thank you for everyone who has joined here today and was here throughout the whole entire talk show. Thanks for the talk. No problem, guys, and thank you for joining. This talk show will be on all our social media sites, and we will add your link, the GoFundMe. So, guys, go check that out and spread the news, spread the word, guys. And thank you all. Have a great rest of the day, wherever you guys are.
Okay, bye.
Bye, guys. No problem. Bye bye.